to infinity and beyond!
Hey guys, hope you're going well. So if you've been following me or my review channel for any amount of time, you probably do already know that my favorite movie is The Lord of the Rings. I am out, I am loud, I am proud. There is no secret or shame in the fact that I love that movie, but it has been so long that I've been wanting to sit down like officially and explain to everybody and justify my reasons of why not only is this the greatest movie of all time, but why it is the greatest movie of all time to me. This is not a review or a breakdown of the individual movies themselves. This is about my own personal history and my personal context of the trilogy as a whole and of the cinematic release of the movies in terms of my personal history and timeline and how it all aligned. I remember it well. It was Christmas. The year was 2001. No, it's not like that at all. I actually had no idea what The Lord of the Rings was or what The Fellowship of the Rings was before the movie came out. It was actually my dad who had read the books when he was a kid himself, and when the movie released Christmas 2001, it was something that my family organized, and I went with my parents and my sister for a family movie day out. As a kid, I can say I'd always been partial to fantasy, to magical adventure stories and that kind of thing. So when I sat down in the cinema to watch The Fellowship of the Ring for the very first time, I was just absolutely awestruck. It was an epic fantasy adventure on this grand scale in a world and a completely thought out universe where every single thing had been meticulously created, from the village of the Shire to the costuming on Galadriel's robe. I am confessing right now to you that I was completely and utterly besotted by Legolas. I think he was the most beautiful creature that I had ever seen in my life, to the point where I did go high school obsessive and we used to print out pictures and stick them in a book and draw love hearts around them. No shame, this is a safe space. So this is the moment when I look back at my formative years and I can say at the age of 13, my world was transformed in how I perceived movies. So it wasn't just the story and the adventure that I loved. It was more than that. It was that I wanted to know so much about this world, the world of The Lord of the Rings, but I loved the movie so much, I wanted to know how they made the movie, how they realized this story and put it on the screen. Everything I've said so far has been in regards to the first movie, The Fellowship of the Ring, because that really just opened my eyes in a whole new way. But there's a couple of other things that this trilogy, this Lord of the Rings franchise, did incredibly well that kept me so hooked and so obsessed with this whole universe. And it's taken me a while to really put my finger on it, but I can attribute these things to, number one, the fact that I had to wait 12 months between installments for the trilogy. And this was the first time I had ever, or I think we'd really ever had to wait 12 months exactly until getting the next installment. This meant that after the first movie came out, The Fellowship of the Rings, and I had to wait an entire 12 months until the second movie, The Two Towers, released, what was I going to do in those 12 months to feed my obsession? I went back and got into the books. I totally fell in love with the books in a really huge way. So between the first movie and the second movie, I read the trilogy, and that sated my desires for a short time at least. The second movie came out, I was blown away. I was so in love with it. They could do no wrong. They did a fantastic job with The Two Towers regardless, and I just loved it. The second thing that they did, which was incredibly smart, was release these box set extended editions. I actually have them. They sit right behind me on my bookshelf here. I remember the price of the very first The Fellowship of the Ring box set right here, and it was like $79.95, and that was a lot of money to me, and I had to save from this part-time job, and it was a huge purchase. And this is where it all changed for me, because this was like before the big YouTube days and being able to access all areas of movie making, and anything was at your fingertips fingertips on YouTube, right? So these extended edition DVDs that had 2 bonus discs full of behind the scenes features, that was like absolutely life-changing. I would watch hours and hours of behind the scenes, how they made everything, how they did all the prosthetics, how they did all the CG work, all the cast and crew interviews, even the DVD commentary. Cheesy as this might sound, the magic of movies was totally ignited in me, and that's when I knew that I wanted to work in movies. So yes, I do really love this story. I love the books, the original source material, but I also really love and respect and am inspired by the movie universe that they created and honored the source material with. I think that they just did a fantastic job. I love everything about it. So pretty much that is why The Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie, because it is the movie that I saw at the most impressionable age of 13 that opened my eyes to the possibilities of creating a complete cinematic universe. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to my ramblings. I want to know what your favorite movie is. Tell me, what is the #1 movie that changed your world when you were a teenager? Because I feel like we all have one or a few movies that just really changed our movie appreciation game. It's possible that for some of you a little bit older than I am, this could be the original Star Wars movies, or for some of you a bit younger than me, it could be the Harry Potter movies. It's just really incredible to think the power that a good story has to influence a generation of moviegoers. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to sit down with me and chat about my favorite movie of all time. Thanks, guys. Bye.